Taking profits, is it something we should already discuss or think about or do? Let's take a look at that, and let's take a look at what you are looking at. I'm gonna dive into the YouTube comments to have the interaction with you guys. So like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on so you don't miss out on anything. And yeah, at the moment of recording, man, Bitcoin is ripping 41,500, 41,700 was the high so far. Bitcoin dominance is also ripping. Everything is ripping right now. So what's interesting is I made a couple of polls on my channel to see how the retail, I'm also retail, but how the mainstream audience is handling things, to see like, okay, what might that suggest, right? The first thing is I asked, well, that's the last thing actually, but are you taking profits these days? 19% said yes, lock in the cash. But 63% said no, it will go up more. And a concerning 17% said, well, you know, I didn't even make money in the first place. So I don't know what you're doing wrong, but everything is going up basically, right? So you have to make money right now. But a lot of people are saying it will go up more. Now, I hope the majority is right? I hope for the best, and I hope that everybody will make money. But the thing is that when everything is going up, people usually think like, hey, this is up only, I'm not taking profits, it's going there and there and there, and only then I'm going to do it. And usually that's where the max pain comes in. If we do take a look at the fear and greed index, this is super interesting. This is, you can basically trade crypto just by this chart, right? The fear and greed index shows the fear and greed in the market. And we are now at levels that we haven't been since basically the bull market, right? And it's really high right now. And what you usually would expect is like, hey, sell the greed, and buy the fear, right? So when things, when people are super greedy, which is now 74, that's usually good to sell. And when people are really fearful, back here is usually where you should buy. Now, this is a good indication to me that we are approaching some kind of a bottom, top, and I don't mean a cycle top or the top of the bull market. In my opinion, the real bull market hasn't even started yet, but it is saying to me like, hey, we will go down at some point, right? That's just what crypto does. And this is usually kind of a place where that could happen. We were super greedy here as well. It was sitting at 87, 95 even, and that's where we topped out before the bull market happened. So yeah, could it be that we do something like that? Hey, I mean, if you delete all the lower bands, you could see that we haven't been here that much. Right, since 2018, this is. We haven't been here this much, so yeah, it's interesting. I also said, what's the hottest crypto narrative coming? Bull market, and majority of the people voted for crypto gaming, and I'm very proud of the audience for, you know, thinking like that, because I absolutely share that view. I think that crypto gaming is going to be huge in the next crypto bull run. Especially if you consider like a last bull run, it was already huge. And what was the mainstream that we had back then? It was like Axie, right? Well, that's a shit game. Now we really have interesting things like Shrapnel, for example, which has been mooning as well. But I'm mostly allocated to things like Ronin Chain, to things like IMX, to things like C-DeFi Fund, to things like Ultra, Super, Veracity, the galas, you know, the studios, the layer ones, the blockchains, the launch pads, etc. And I think that's gonna be a hot narrative. What else is also interesting are these two polls that I made. I said, how much of your portfolio is in cash? And the majority said 0. That's concerning, right? Because if we do have a pullback, that means that most of the people will feel like shit about it because they cannot buy that dip, right? And you always want to buy the dip. But it looks like most people are already all in crypto. Okay. At the same time, most of the people also said, no, we are not in a bull market. So yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. Now I would like to go over a couple of comments on the channel. Like I said, just to have some interaction, because that's actually what people want to discuss or want to know or tell, right? So um, about launchpads, yeah, launchpads have been the money printer for this channel and for my wallet. And somebody asked, whenever a launchpad has a pre-sale, do we still need additional USD to buy these tokens? Yes, you need to stake the launchpad tokens to be liable to participate, and you need money to use to buy these tokens. So I dropped my phone, and I did not have my case on today. Yeah, fuck it. Bull market, right? Buy a new one. Let me see. Somebody said about are you taking profits? I'm still in the red. The alts will after to go much more before I take. Okay, so I think you mean I'm still broke and it has to go up more before I can take profits. Yeah, some profits are staked. Gotta wait. Okay, yeah, that's also a possibility. Let me check. Hey man, I love your content. Thank you, love you too. What would be interesting is also a comparison of the days after each halving to the to the all-time high at that time. To explain my last sentence, how many days have passed after the halving in 2016 until Bitcoin reached the all-time high in 2017, and compare that to how many days have passed from the halving in 2020. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. That's interesting, and that's a nice way to look at it. Like, hey. We have the 4-year cycle, and if you look at it very simplistic, you could say like, hey, we topped out with Bitcoin at the end of 2013, at the end of 2017, at the end of 2021. So what's likely topping out end of 2025. But how many days from the halving until the top? Let's take a look at that. I already have the halvings right here. That's the blue line. And the blue line to the top right here, 75 weeks in this case, and the halving right here until the top right here, 78 weeks, right? So that lines up quite decent with each other. There's not a lot of history on this though, right? But let's say 75, 78. Okay, we have the halving right here, so 75, 78. We'll put the top in this case in around September 2025, right? But that's if the halving is in April. I think it's pretty sure that it's around that time, but it depends on the block speed. But that would say that the top could somewhere be slightly earlier than the actual end of 2025, and more like Q3, basically beginning quarter four. And it could also be 78 bars in this case, 78. Then it's October, but hey, for all we know, it could be 85, right? And then it is December. So, but yeah, end of 2025 is also what this suggests. Okay, what's your opinion about GameFi? For those who have little capital, wouldn't it be better to have greater allocation in projects? Yeah, GameFi is also a crypto gaming launchpad, and GameFi at least finally showing some strength price-wise. This has been wrecked, right? It went from $194 to one. It got absolutely wrecked. Therefore, I did not buy it all the way down. And now it's at 6, right? So it did a 6x. Yeah, congratulations. But still, if you look where it came from, completely wrecked. And it is a lower high. So when it comes to that, the price chart is not looking that fantastic to me. If we do take a look at Launchpads and we look at GameFi, they are number 6 right there. And they have released quite some projects this year. If you look at what they have been doing since Playza, basically. This is what they have released this year. However, the ROI currently is 1.4x, 2.4x, 1. Like their ROI is very bad. So the projects that they do release are not interesting, really. So yeah, I don't know about the tiers and how affordable it is to get into GameFi, but on the other hand, what does it matter if the lunches that they do are not profitable in the first place? So I don't really like that. In the bull market, though, they did really well. They released Dream Quest, Sidus, Meta Gods, a lot of big projects, Project Seed, GameFi itself, of course, and they all did very well. Um, so, in the bull market, it might be interesting, but now in this bear market, it's not really something that I would consider interesting. Um, I take a profit 50-50. I mean, we went up so much, so I think a correction will consume. It didn't sell everything, of course, because there could be some more upside. Yeah, like if I talk about taking profits, I will never talk about putting everything out, right? You should never be all in or all out in the first place. When I talk about taking profits, 10, 20% off the table, maybe, right? To just lock in some cash because. Look, I mean, what we have seen last cycle as well, if we look at Bitcoin right now, right, what we have seen last cycle is we went up very hard as well. We went from 3K to 14K basically. So we went up like this. Yeah, people that did not take profits right here rode it all the way down again. Eventually you would have been fine, but this pump was completely for nothing, right? And if you do take some profits and you can buy it back lower, then hey, you will just have a bigger bag to ride when the actual bull run starts. And it kind of looks the same, like where we have now a big move up. And I always consider that we could have a correction like we usually do. And in that case, I don't, want this pump to be for nothing. Um, love. Will we see a sub 20k Bitcoin in 2024? Will we see a 3k Bitcoin before 2030? Okay. Well, the only answer to those questions is nobody knows, right? I think a lot of people can tell you, like, very confident, like, yes or no, but nobody knows. Of course, nothing is certain. That's what we know. To give you my thoughts on this, a sub 20k Bitcoin in 2024. It is possible. It is possible. I don't like. Last cycle, we also in the halving year we came down with 60%, right? And I know it was because of a black swan, but without the black swan, we also came down 53%. If we would have go down 53% right now, so no black swan, yeah, that's 20k. So yeah, the possibility is there. It happened before, right? Okay, so let me put it like that. It happened before, so there's not a single reason out there that it can't happen again. But I wouldn't bet my money on it. Will we ever see a 3k Bitcoin? If something goes terribly wrong somewhere, then it's always possible. But to be realistic, where where we are right now, right, to go down to 3k, to 3k, Bitcoin has to go down with 92%. Yeah, we can tell, like, hey, even from this point, 92%, like, not even close, right? That never happened before. So if it turns out that Satoshi Nakamoto is a big scammer, or if all the exchanges got to fall and regulations come in and you cannot buy or sell anymore, or whatever, or if there will be a big world war, and everything in the world goes to shit, yeah, then it's of course, never say never, but if I could bet on it, then all my money is on no, at least. So yeah. Are there any new up and coming launchpads we can get those sweet pre-sales from? Yeah, you know what? Up and coming launchpads are of course very high risk. To get the best returns, you can better take a look at the best performing launchpads, and therefore CryptoRank is a good website. You can see right here year to date which the best performing launchpads are. Seedify, Engine Starter, TrustSwap, Pools Finance, Dowmake. Like, I'm skipping a few, but this only had 2 launches, right? And this 5, so how accurate is that actually? But up and coming launchpad, yeah, if you want to take some more risk, DexCheck has a launchpad upcoming. That's this one, DexCheck. This is some kind of a DEX tools, but more expanded, right? There's a lot right here, and they have an Ipso launchpad coming. Solidus AI Tech has a launchpad coming, and they already have their first launch planned, I think. Yeah, Script Network. So these things are super cheap to get in, right? But they are all exactly copying ChainGPT. So if it's so straight paste, copy paste, then I feel like, okay, yeah, I don't know how big the success is going to be. On the other hand, launchpads are just a big thing. And maybe that's just simply the reason why they do this, because they know that it works. So these are two that you could take a look at for sure. I mean, how do you find out new projects with nodes? I think just being in the right groups, being in the right Telegram groups, being in the right Discord groups, being in the right communities, being in things like our community, there's Telegram down below, or being in Neo Tokyo, Nexus, those kind of things, to have the right connections. And then you will find those kind of things for sure. You, sir, are a legend. Every once in a while, I get a danke and at $2. So that's cool. Games for a Living is set to attend Saudi Arabia Esports 2024 summer. That's massive. Games for a Living is only doing great things. It's beautiful. At least crypto seems much more interesting without big pullbacks. Depends how you are positioned. If you are fully into the market, then crypto is very interesting when it goes up. And if you are prepared for both scenarios, then it's also interesting when it goes down. I think crypto is more interesting when it goes up and down, where you know, where you have these liquidation events and all of that. Up only is also boring, right? um, Let me see. Do you know if Sonoris is going to be on an exchange? Yeah, they're gonna launch definitely. Um, yeah. So someone said like the day before yesterday, I said 50% correction. Yesterday, 30% correction. Today, I don't know, maybe go up or down. I said you might want to watch the videos. Like I'm not saying, I will never say, hey, this is going to happen. What I do is what you should do always: look at the charts and look like, hey, what seems most likely, right? What seems most likely. And you know, if Bitcoin is struggling here, then I would have said like, hey, Bitcoin is likely to go down. Yeah, if it breaks, then the resistance is broken, and then it could go a completely different direction, right? So one level on how Bitcoin is going to act there is can determine whether it's something extremely bullish or extremely bearish. Um, and to be about these corrections, hey, what I said is I expect a 30% correction, and a 50% correction seems something that's pretty likely as well for altcoins. But I don't know. Right? I'm not like speaking against myself or whatsoever. You should look. Don't go just off of the thumbnails or the titles or whatever. Just look, check the videos, please, because I get a lot of like comments where I think like, hey, but I think you haven't seen it yet. Robert Yates, I think, he said something pretty interesting. He said, I agree that there is a correction coming at some point, but not yet, and not a capitulation. Looking at the trading ranges being built and the volume signatures using Wickoffs, we're in for another decent leg up very soon. It was yesterday, and we got a pretty good leg up today at the moment of recording, so you kind of nailed that. At least for Ethereum, FED, AVAX, Sol, Link, so a couple of altcoins. Then possibly a correction to the bottom of the next trading range, and we will wait and see what that actually is. A huge dump is extremely unlikely from here, but it's always possible. Great content, loves this channel. Thanks. And I do agree with what you're saying. Like, I've been talking about a 50% correction. At max, by the way, right? I'm not saying like, hey, it will do 50%. I am saying like, hey, if we get a correction, then 50% would be the max. But it depends from what level, of course, right? I mean, if well, not Bitcoin necessarily, but if you take a look at the others chart, right, the altcoin chart, if you take 50%, then it's down to 87 billion. But let's say we break this range first and we go to this next resistance level, give or take, and then we have such a correction, yeah, then it's only back to these support levels. So yeah, it depends how high it pushes first. And yeah, I love these pumps because the more it pumps, the more room it has to correct eventually. So that's quite nice to see. And yeah, you said about AVAX, for example. Mm, AVAX is sitting at some major resistance right now, so we really do have to break this. Hey, if we do, then I can see AVAX go to $28. And yeah, if AVAX then has a good correction, then you can see a correction to like 40, 14, $15, give or take. And that's not that bad. Um, May, don't get me wrong. I watch your video and I like the content, most of them, but you need to stop being bearish all the time. I'm still waiting for that Naka dip since 4 cents to get in. No, I'm kidding. Hey, we spoke about Naka very early, and I gave it the price prediction, which exploded from there even. So, but you need to stop being bearish all the time. Look, the thing is that I'm mostly like I want people to really get it, right? I'm not saying, hey, altcoins, they go down back to their dollar pair bottoms necessarily. I am saying it happened before. Let's keep in consideration that it could happen again. But what I'm mostly bearish on is altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, right? And that's what we see, that the Bitcoin dominance is going up. Therefore, I've been talking quite a lot about buying Bitcoin on the channel instead of buying altcoins. And that's a good thing because, hey, the dominance is up, so Bitcoin is dominating these altcoins. And if you do take a look at altcoins on their Bitcoin pair, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but like another 4% down, and we are at the bottom. So we can be very bullish about altcoins, but then again, they're sitting at the bottom on the Bitcoin pair, right? So it's not that spectacular or anything. I mean, yeah, altcoins have been doing really well, but it's only because Bitcoin has been doing really well. So, but that's my strategy, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, and then you get these kind of things. Just a minute, you missed the pump. No, you missed my content. Citus and Senate both on fire. Citus and Senate are extremely good. Extremely good. They have been doing really well. Alts ain't getting completely wrecked. Alts won't get new lows even if Bitcoin corrects. Admit it, you have been wrong. Again, this doesn't look that wrong. Please listen, because you can get so much out of this. You can get so much out of this. But if you listen half or something, yeah, then it's gonna be very painful. If I say like, hey, I'm not buying altcoins, I'm buying Bitcoin, so I can buy altcoins later with my Bitcoin. And look where we are right now, at the bottom. But yeah, if you only listen to, hey, not buying altcoins, and you put yourself on the sideline, yeah, sorry, but that's not up to me, man. Come on, that's that's not that's just not smart, man. And I don't understand why I get so much of these comments. Like somebody said, get over it, you were wrong whole 2023 and you continue that path in 2024. Bro, look, you see this video? This is where I started to be bearish on altcoins. Altcoin holders, watch out, la 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 la. This was in October 2022. Now, if you again look where altcoins were sitting in October 2022, was here. That was the top, right? And what did we do since then? We came down 50%. So yeah. I get that, like, it's way more fun to listen to people who are bullish, right? Like, oh yeah, let's buy it, let's buy it, let's buy it. And that point will come, but like if the market is going down, then I am not bullish. If the market is going up, then I'm like, come on. It's really easy to make money with crypto, actually. It's really easy. It's not that hard, right? Crypto is very cyclical. You can quite easily predict when and where the bottom is going to be, give or take, right? And the same goes for the top. And at a certain point, maybe these cycles won't play out that easy anymore, but so far they do, right? So it's very pretty easy when it comes to that. Then you overlay the dominance, for example, on that as well, and then you can say like, hey, the dominance is also sitting at the low, so that should go up. So that means that altcoins will go down against Bitcoin. So it means that makes no sense to buy altcoins, rather to buy Bitcoin in this case. So I've bought that, right? And that's been going up. And now that altcoins are going down against Bitcoin, I can convert my Bitcoin, which I may profit on, to altcoins, and then write an altcoin season whenever that's going to start, as soon as that the dominance is going down. So it is pretty predictable. Yeah, for all we know, we made very beautiful entries and calls on these channels. Also, when we did talk about altcoins like the Lysium with the nodes, like incredible how they launched, right? And with all these launchpad tokens, multiple 10x's, so beautiful. So yeah, when I see these comments, I feel like, oh, you've been watching for half of it and didn't get it, and now you're getting mad at me because you stay sidelined, bro. That's not. Don't do that, man. Don't. It's like, oh my god. Um, okay, this is interesting. Someone said a rip to 48k, 52k first, then a 50% crash back to 20k, 25k levels would significantly wreck the bears and the bulls. So rip it to 52k and then back to 2025. Hey, it's good. It's good, man. Let me see. Do I have a clean chart? Yeah, I have a clean chart. So it would mean that we will do something like, not time-wise maybe, but something like this. Then back to around this level. And then, like, not in this struggle. That will be fucked. Hey, it would definitely not be the first time to happen. It could. It could, man. All I know that if we rip to 52k, I'm gonna take so much profit off the table, because that's too big of a run, right? Too much people will be saying like, "Oh, bull market is back," and crypto is notorious for wrecking you, right? But that's what crypto does. It gives you these big upside moves. It makes people FOMO into the market, and when enough people are there, it's gonna slap all of you out of it, and that's just how it works, man. Therefore, I'm so cautious when, like said, like with the fear and greed index, the thing is high, right? But it never works like that. Whenever it's high, you should sell and not buy. It's not so. Yeah, this is interesting. And also, when we look at this, the social risk, the red line, how many people watch YouTube and subscribe to YouTube channels, etc. Look, it has a big spike. So it's interesting, right? Crypto is going up, and all of a sudden, people are stepping into crypto again. Yeah, what usually happens? Hey, everybody comes into crypto again. It's usually not the time where things are really going up. It looks a little like this right here, where things have a good spike, or even this right here. But and then crypto has a some kind of correction, and these people feel like, okay, never mind, let's get out of it again. Yeah, I've been. I have a controversial opinion. I go against the masses maybe quite a lot, but I know from the last cycle and 2017, I've been going with the masses and been following everything, and then you're running against the facts behind it. And this time, I kind of see like, okay, I've been here before. I see how this moves. I see the time period in which it moves. I see the moves up. I feel the fear and greed and this and that. It shows like, hey, of course in the shorter term we can pump to 50k, but it shows like, okay, there is something brewing, which is gonna wreck because people are not getting wrecked right now, except Capo. But people need to get wrecked. This is a really funny comment. Somebody, well, they had a very long story, but he said right here, now it is the time you will publicly apologize for trashing people that have a different opinion and were telling their audience to DCA. No, definitely not. And I was a I will I won't trash people, but if like I said, like hey, if people mainly crypto banter, it's what I talk about, and not Hustlepedia. I like Hustlepedia though, but like crypto banter, they said all the time, alt season, right? Alt season, alt season. Yeah, that's clickbait. Like why do you think I just have 26,000 subs? Because I do not tell people what they want to hear, right? I can easily make a channel and just tell people exactly what I want to hear and get a lot of views, get a lot of subs, get a lot of love from everybody. But at the end of the day, who gives a fuck about what you want to hear? Don't be so emotional. Go find a girlfriend, you sick bastard. I'm here to talk about money, and the goal is to make money. And what I was talking about, I think at least that's what you're aiming for, is that I talked about crypto banter for being, and mainly ran in Sheldon, by the way, for being super amateuristic or clickbaity, or at least they were building a brand, right? Like they want to build crypto banter, but they don't give a fuck about their audience. Let's be honest, because if you scream alt season here, alt season here, alt season here, it all resulted lower, and it all resulted in their audience buying these tops, right? And getting wrecked, and buying the top and getting wrecked, and buying the top and getting wrecked. While it is so easy, right? You only need one chart to see if it's an alt season, and that's this chart. An alt season would have been this. But instead, we did this. And so they called for an alt season, and the complete opposite happened. But the thing is, it's not about them made a wrong call. They knew this, right? They have a team. They have a big team of smart people. They're not stupid. They know about this chart. They know that it wasn't enough. But they also knew that if they were calling for it, it would got them the most clicks and the most views and the most subs. And they can talk about their Bybit competitions again and get more money, right? That's what they do. Like, that's how they make money. Not by trading so well. They make money by doing that kind of stuff. And that's fine. But if you have to lie to your audience to get that, then I'm a little against it. So if you tell me that I need to apologize for that, then sorry, not sorry, but that's completely ridiculous. Of course, I rather tell people what they don't want to hear, um, but that will actually save them money than what they do want to hear and just talk bullshit, right? Because again, I've said, watch out. Again, since October 2022, I've been saying, "Hey, watch out with altcoins." Actually, and again, if especially if you look at how they did against Bitcoin, yeah, it crashed, right? Right, and an alt season is where it goes up. This is an alt season, so this was an alt season, right? This Bitcoin season, and here I was saying like, "Hey guys, don't do it." And in the meantime, we had all these clickbaity videos, oh, alt season and buy the dip. And in the meantime, we went more than 50% lower. And now they're making videos like, oh yeah, bull market, let's go. Like yeah, no. um, yeah, and I'm not sitting here like to I want to respect everybody 100%, but I'm not a fan of YouTubers fooling their audience for their own money. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And again, no. Hasselpiet, no, I love his content. He's a smart guy. He's great calls. But Ren is a piece of trash. Sheldon as well. They're a piece of trash. Sorry, I have no respect for these people at all. Um, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie about that. And I know it's not making me any friends, or I'm not getting popular by doing that. But fuck being popular. Like man, I've built a channel with 60 or 26,000 diehard people who came in during the bear market, right, with the right information, right. Not being fooled about any bullshit alt seasons that so far never happened since the last 2.5 years. Right? Let's not do that. right? I'd rather build an audience that gets it than an audience that I feel like, okay, what I'm going to fool them with today so I can make some money off of it. It's absolutely disgusting how it works. Um, so yeah, sorry, but I have a very strong opinion about that, and I know that it's best to sometimes keep your opinion to yourself. But like, if you're gonna discuss it, then let's discuss it. And I'm not gonna say sorry for that, man. Fuck off. In other news, um, what about the ETF? Bitcoin will never go to 32K, right? Um, why not? Somebody said it can go even lower. ETF will be by the rumors, sell the news. Maybe. Look, I mean, first thing, ETF isn't approved yet. Hey, let's prepare for the fact that the fucking SEC can fuck us all and just get a reason and say like, hey, it's rejected. You'll see how the market responds by then. That will be a good catalyst for Bitcoin to dump it straight to 20K. Definitely. So that's one. Two, if we do get an ETF, it will buy the rumor, sell the news. I don't think so. I think that's already been happening. This pump that we have right here is the anticipation towards the ETF. I think anticipation. Sorry, everybody expects the ETF. Therefore, we see this pump, right? When was the first big, huge pump? When we had that fake ETF news. And now everybody is expecting the ETF to happen, including me, though. I do expect that there is a very good chance that it will happen. But what if it gets rejected, right? Yeah, that would crash at least to 32K. But ETF is not everything, right? It could be anything which causes Bitcoin to go lower. We could get an ETF, small pump towards 50K, something like that. And then just the rest of the cycle playing out like, hey, we get a recession, we get whatever for news, and we will go down because the actual money that comes in through these ETFs is not going to happen overnight once the ETFs get approved. It's going to happen over time. So the ETF is not the only narrative. Yeah. How do you buy Playable? Yeah, on Trader Joe, AFX Chain, or Maxi. Indeed, just like this citizen looks like it said. So yeah, Portal coin gains prediction. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. Can't tell. It depends on what market cap it releases, how high it goes, which exchanges, how the promotion is going to be. I have no idea. How does the how does this clown not look at the bigger picture and realize that last cycle there wasn't about to be Bitcoin ETF approvals? Bro, look, you can take the chart, right? This is the Bitcoin chart right here. What the fuck is this line? Okay, you could take the Bitcoin chart from the beginning till the end, right? It moves, right? We have a bull market, 2013. We have a bottom. We have a sideways year. We have a bull market, end of 2017. We have a bottom, exactly same time. We go up in the pre-halving year again. We go down. We have the bull market, top of end of 2021. We have the bottom right here, exactly in that 4-year halving. Now we go up again, like it moves in the cycle. Don't you think that we did not have any news right here, like whatever it is, like good news, bad news, whatever the fuck, doesn't matter. The market moves how the market moves, right? And you could say like, hey, this time is gonna be completely different because now we have this news. We had any type of news in the last more than a decade, and the market still did the exact same cyclical market kind of thing. So don't try to think like, hey, there's this news, so this time it's gonna be different, and we're going straight up, and it's up only, and we never go down again. Like that's not really how it works, man. That's not really how it works. Um, well, the market correction isn't coming. again. That's why I think that I'm doing quite like I have a good bag of stables, um, and it shows that a lot of people don't, right? That a lot of people they say like, no, there won't be a correction. Like I am fully into crypto, so there won't be a correction because I don't want to, but there won't be a correction. But like, okay, maybe not. But you are betting against 13 years that it did happen. And if you want to say, like, okay, now it's the first time that it's not going to happen, it's fine. You're betting against the odds. And maybe you're right. And then the reward is going to be high. But the chance that you are right is very low. Put some eggs in the what if I'm wrong basket as well. That's what I would do. That's a smart thing to do. Yeah, and then mention some coins that outperformed, right? Like, yeah, okay, but yeah, that's always thing. Um, yeah, gonna wrap it up right here. So what I do notice is that a lot of people staring blind at the fact that we're going up so hard and that it's gonna be up only, right? And maybe it is. It won't hurt me if it is. I would be very pleased. But 42, we got it on cam. Fuck yeah, that's awesome. Like that's cool, nice. Exactly as well. Look, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love. It's so long that I've saw that. Um, but a lot of people are staring blind that it's gonna be up only, and yeah, be prepared that it maybe isn't right. Like in the last cycle, we only from this run had to go up with like 40% to get back to the all time high, right? Now we have to go up 66% to go back to the all time high. So we still could go way higher and have that correction, right? It could still happen. And again, for the people that wonder, I'm not sitting here saying like this will happen, but I'm saying keep into consideration. So far, it happened every single time. So it would be stupid not to consider that it can't this time just because, for example, there is an ETF coming or so. Um, right? Whatever the narrative is going to drive the market on how it moves in the first place. Um, so yeah, sorry for the last part of the video where the vibes were a bit negative, maybe, especially about that whole crypto bent stuff. But like, yeah, again, let's keep it a little real, and let's prepare ourselves for if it goes up or down. No, on my channel, you will never get the highest rewards. If you want to get the highest rewards, you want to go to a channel that says, okay, we're going up only, go deep into these coins, and they have to be lucky enough that that's exactly how it's going to play out. But the risk there is extremely high as well, right? My channel is more, I think, for the people that play maybe with a little more money, and that feel like, hey, if it goes up, I'm good. But if it goes down, I'm good as well. And if it goes sideways, I'm good, right? So I will never get the full benefits if it goes up. But I also will never get wrecked as hard as a lot of people unfortunately do when it goes down. Um, because saving money in crypto, like most people get in crypto because they want to make money. But what about not losing in the first place? Super important, man. Super important. So yeah, I want to wrap it up right here. I'll put some timestamps on it because it was long as fuck. Like the video, if you like it anyway, and if you watched it completely to the end, let me know down below. You are an OG, and two people that did that and tell me in the comments, they can get $100 worth of what do you meme tokens, my token. Just appreciate for watching freaking 43 minutes. So see you soon.